Hello everyone, my name is Yemisi Wisoba and I am the Evangelization and Encounter Youth Ministry Worker for the Kenelm Youth Trust. I am here in St. Chad's with Bishop-elect Timothy Menezes and Bishop-elect Richard Walker. Ahead of their ordination, we've been given this beautiful and wonderful opportunity to get to know them a little bit better. And I want to start by knowing where you're from and what led you to becoming a priest.
Well, I grew up in King's Heath in Birmingham, so right in the centre of the Archdiocese. And I was in St Dunstan's parish. I was an altar server. My family were all involved in the choir, so we were quite involved in the life of the parish. And I can remember wanting to be a priest when I was 6 years old. I used to see priests, like what they did, they seemed happy, and I thought, I want to do that. And that feeling never went away over all the years.
Well, Yemisi, it was very different for me. I was born in Harborne in Birmingham, and then my family moved out to Solihull when I was just 6, so I grew up there. But I wasn't baptised a Catholic when I was a child, so I was actually only received into the church when I was 17. And even then, it was certainly with no thoughts of priesthood. I didn't actually start to think about whether I might want to be a priest until I was 22, when I was studying law at the time. And then even then, it took me another 6 years before I actually did anything about it. So we have very different stories when it comes to our vocation to the priesthood. Mine started much later than Monsignor Timothy's.
Could you please highlight a privileged moment in your journey as a priest?
Shall I go first with this one? I think one moment that stands out for me was during my time in Rome when I was training for the priesthood. Both of us spent some time at the English College in Rome. I was there for 5 years studying for the priesthood. And I was asked while I was there to do the second reading at a big mass in St. Peter's Square. It was on the occasion of Saint Therese of Lisieux being made a doctor of the church. So I was asked to do the second reading. Pope John Paul II was presiding at the mass. So it was an extraordinary thing to be able to do, to stand there. St. Peter's Square was packed with people, so there must have been 150,000, 200,000 people there. And to hear your voice echoing around St. Peter's Square, it was an extraordinary event and a real privilege to be part of it.
I suppose in contrast to 200,000 people in St. Peter's Square, a privileged moment for me, which was also while studying in Rome, was being in the presence of Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who is now Saint Teresa of Calcutta. And there were 2 occasions during my time as a student in Rome. Once when she came to our university to speak to the students, and another occasion when I went to her convent and she was just there sitting in prayer, kneeling in prayer. And just to be there and in her presence was a real privilege. And it becomes more so when you think she's now a saint.
As priests, I'm sure you travel quite a bit. And I wanted to know, what country stood out to you in your journey as a priest?
It is amazing, some of the opportunities for travel as a priest and that sense of being part of the universal church. I went to Cameroon a few years ago. We have a link through the Archdiocese of Birmingham with Cameroon in Africa. And I went there for about 10 days and saw the vibrancy, the church really alive in that part of the world. Sadly, Cameroon is a country with great problems these days, sort of civil war. But one of the things that really struck me when I was there was at Mass, in a way that we don't particularly do it here, when the gifts of bread and wine are brought up and the collection, every single person brought their offering to the altar individually. So that part of the Mass became really long, but it was a beautiful reflection of everybody being involved in the Mass. I'm not sure we're going to introduce it here, but it was lovely to see.
I think for me, a memorable trip took place when I was a member of staff at Oscott College, the seminary of the Archdiocese, where men are trained for the priesthood and the diaconate. And during my time there, because I was on the staff for 11 years, we had 3 young men who were training for the priesthood who had come from Kerala in South India. So when it came to the time for their ordinations, I was invited over to Kerala for the ordination of one of them. So I went over there for 10 days, and I'd wanted to go to India for years, but not really as a tourist staying in a hotel. So this was really the perfect opportunity for me to go and spend time with the local community and just experience the vividness of the church in southern India. So that was a wonderful visit for me to be able to undertake.
How do you feel about becoming a bishop?
It is an extraordinary feeling. Unlike preparation for ordination to the priesthood, which takes years, most people spend 6 years or 7 years in seminary. When you're appointed as a bishop, there is only a relatively short amount of time, only 3 months between the time you're appointed and the time you're supposed to be ordained. So it all happens rather quickly in contrast. And it is exciting. I think there is a challenge for both of us ahead. It's a position that comes with considerable responsibility, and obviously it's fairly high profile in terms of the church. But it is exciting. I think I'm looking forward to taking on that responsibility and working with the priests and deacons and people of the Archdiocese to spread the good news of Jesus Christ. That's what we're there to do, to preach the gospel. So having the opportunity to do that, I think, as a bishop is something to which I'm really looking forward. I'm quite excited about those possibilities.
I think there are bits of this new role that I don't know yet. Visiting schools and parishes, affirming people in their faith is something that I look forward to doing. And as Canon Richard said, sharing the joy of the gospel, it seems a simple thing to do, but it's what we're called to, and I look forward to it, and particularly the day of ordination. It's going to be a day where not everybody can be here with us, but hopefully through the live stream, we hope people will be praying for us and encouraging us in our new ministry.
How do your family and friends feel about you becoming a bishop?
I think they're amazed, because they've said things like, I thought being a bishop was really important, and now you're going to be one. So it's good to keep grounded by family and friends. But I think they're proud, and I think they're happy, and they just want to make sure on this next stage that we're okay, and that they're keeping us in their prayers, and we need to know that they'll still be there to support us as they have in the past.
I think my family and friends were surprised, almost as surprised as I was, perhaps, but excited about it. I think they're proud of me in a way family and friends would be of anyone who was asked to do this. But I think that they're looking forward to being part of it, really, and sharing it with me. One of the lovely things, actually, about all of this process has been that Monsignor Timothy and I have been able to be in this together, because we've been friends for over 30 years. We started in seminary together on the same day, and we've been friends since then. So the fact that we were appointed as bishops on the same day and will be ordained on the same day is really lovely, because all the preparation and just thinking through what we're going to be doing and what's happening now, it's been great for both of us. Well, speaking for myself, it's been great for me.
Yes, it's been great for both of us.
That we've been able to share this journey together. That's been really special.
What would you like to say to the parishes and schools in the Archdiocese as you prepare for your ordination?
I think I'd like to say that I'm looking forward to sharing in your lives. I haven't been a parish priest for a number of years now, because my role at present is as Vicar General, so I don't have a parish of my own. But prior to becoming Vicar General, I was parish priest in Banbury, at St John the Evangelist and St Joseph, and there are 2 schools there, 2 parishes, and I loved that time of ministry in the parishes. I really enjoyed sharing in the life of the parish, being part of the life of the schools. So as a bishop, although I won't be a parish priest as such, I will be much more involved with parishes and schools. And I just look forward to getting back really into that and sharing with their lives, seeing what they're doing as Christian communities and working with them to help everyone grow in our love of Christ.
I would say, especially to the young people and the children who are watching this, we want vocations. We want more priests. It came in different ways for us. We've had a very fulfilled life as priests. But even the fact that we're becoming bishops now, more priests need to take our places. And I think our Catholic schools are a really good place to foster that sense of knowing that people are loved by God, using that to show love of neighbour, and that is shown in a special way in vocations in the church. So I ask everybody to pray for us, but also pray for yourselves and ask, what is God asking you to do? And particularly asking about priesthood, religious life, marriage, these great vocations that bring life to the church.